My boyfriend's romantic proposal to his secretary went viral, with thousands swooning over the CEO-secretary fairy tale. But none of them knew that while he was sliding a ring on her finger, I was at home, his girlfriend of 7 years, planning a wedding to another man he didn't even know existed. To understand why I agreed to marry a stranger, you have to witness the sheer arrogance of Isaac Emerson. When I confronted him about the proposal video, I overheard him justifying it to his friends, claiming he was just saving his secretary, Jenny, from an unwanted marriage. When asked about me, his actual partner of nearly a decade, he scoffed and said, "So what if she gets mad? She can't live without me." That was the moment I stopped fighting. I called my mother and accepted the arranged marriage to Henry Langford, a man I hadn't even met. My mother was shocked but relieved, reminding me that everyone but me had seen that Isaac never intended to marry me. Just as I hung up, Isaac walked in with a small cake, asking about the wedding he overheard me discussing. I lied and said it was a friend's, watching the relief wash over his face, relief that he wouldn't have to marry me or relief that I hadn't caught him cheating. He offered me the cake, claiming it was my favorite, but I knew the truth. I had seen Jenny's Instagram stories. The cake was her favorite. Every treat he had brought home recently was just a leftover crumb from his dates with her. I refused it cold, telling him I didn't like sweets anymore. He looked confused, proving he never really knew me at all. The final nail in the coffin came on my birthday. He promised to take me to a sold-out musical to make up for forgetting the actual day, but he never showed up. While I stood in the rain outside the theater. Worried sick, Jenny posted a photo of 2 concert tickets and a man's hand with a distinct scar, Isaac's scar. He had ditched me to entertain her whims. Standing in the freezing downpour, I texted my mom back, 2 weeks. I would be married in 2 weeks, and Isaac wouldn't even know until he saw my car drive past his. He promised to pick me up from the theater, but as I stood shivering in the storm, I scrolled through Instagram and saw him cooking chicken soup for his secretary, captioned, "A man who cooks is a man worth marrying." To understand why I finally stopped begging for his attention, you have to witness the quiet cruelty of my relationship with Isaac. He left me stranded in the rain to play house with Jenny, but when I caught a fever, he surprisingly stayed home to nurse me. Instead of feeling loved, I felt suffocated. When I told him to leave, he accused me of changing, reminiscing about how I used to beg him to stay. I simply smiled, burying my feelings, and told him I wasn't childish anymore. The real knife in the back came when I was looking at wedding dresses. My mother sent for my arranged marriage. Isaac snatched my phone, saw the gowns, and immediately assumed I was trying to manipulate him into proposing. He called me pathetic, claiming my tricks were draining the love he had for me, before storming out. I laughed into the silence, wondering how much love he could possibly have left to drain. That night, Isaac made a mistake. He accidentally posted a photo of Jenny and a wedding invitation on his own Instagram, captioned, "I had to marry you to not lose you." He deleted it instantly, but not before I saw it. Ironically, his wedding to Jenny was set for the same day as my wedding to Henry. When he came home reeking of her floral perfume, he tried to check my temperature, but I recoiled in disgust. The next morning, I started erasing him. I gathered every couple-themed item, every postcard, every memory that had gathered dust since Jenny arrived, and threw them into the trash. When I tossed our photo album into the fireplace, watching the years burn, Isaac walked in. He panicked, plunging his hands into the flames to save the charred remains, screaming at me like I was the one who had destroyed us. Isaac's eyes widened in horror as our wedding cars pulled up next to each other, realizing too late that the bride exchanging bouquets with his mistress was me. To understand how my 7-year relationship ended in a traffic jam of betrayal, you have to see the final, meticulous steps Isaac took to remove me from his life. He booked a solo trip for me to relax, a transparent ploy to get me out of the country during his wedding to Jenny. I knew his plan because I overheard him on the phone, confessing he would keep me hidden as a mistress while he married her. Instead of fighting, I agreed to go, smiling as I plotted my own exit. Our final date was a disaster. He brought Jenny along to our anniversary dinner, fussing over her period cramps, and ordering bland food for her while ignoring me completely. When a fire alarm triggered chaos in the restaurant, Isaac's instinct wasn't to save me, it was to shield Jenny. He guided her to safety, leaving me standing alone in the smoke. When he realized I was watching, he tried to stammer an excuse, but I cut him off with a smile. I understood perfectly. I packed my bags, erasing every trace of myself from our home, and left without looking back. But I didn't go on the trip he booked. I went home to my parents and prepared to marry Henry, the man they chose for me. On the wedding day, fate played its final hand. My bridal procession crossed paths with another, and per tradition, the brides rolled down their windows to exchange bouquets. I found myself staring directly into Isaac's car, He froze, his face crumbling in shock and disbelief as he screamed my name, realizing that while he was busy replacing me, I had already replaced him. Welcome to share your feelings in the comments section. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more story content, please check out the other videos on my channel.